It started with a feeling, subtle at first, a shadow passing over a life she thought she knew. Olivia Harper had worked at New Eden Biotechnics for 7 years, enough to trust her instincts, or at least to recognize when something was wrong. It wasn't the lab itself, she loved the precise order of it, the hum of incubators, the quiet rhythm of experiments. No, it was David. He began changing in ways she couldn't place. Small things at first, forgetting a wallet, misplacing a pen, forgetting details about her day. She told herself it was stress, long hours, perhaps depression. But soon, conversations felt off. He would finish her sentences with eerie precision. His laughter seemed calculated, his smiles too wide, too fixed. And there was a smell, subtle but unnerving, sterile, antiseptic, like he had walked through a lab all day. One Thursday evening, Olivia stayed late at work, running tests on protein samples. David called, voice clipped, flat. He said he was making dinner. When she returned, the kitchen was pristine, the meal perfectly arranged, but there was a stiffness to him, a mechanical quality she couldn't shake. "David, are you okay?" she asked. He smiled, almost too carefully. "I'm fine, Liv." Really? She wanted to believe him, wanted to convince herself that everything was normal. But a gnawing unease kept her awake that night. She watched him sleep on the couch, studying the lines of his face, the way he breathed. He was perfect, too perfect. The next week, Olivia began noticing small anomalies, phrases he never used, memories he shouldn't remember, routines that didn't match the man she had married. She started keeping detailed notes, cataloging behaviors, recording conversations, obsessively comparing him to the David she remembered. It was during a late night at the lab that she stumbled on something she shouldn't have. Hidden behind encrypted folders was an unmarked file. Her credentials allowed her access. Inside were photographs of employees, faces she knew, labeled with strange annotations, behavioral replication accuracy, cognitive mapping, emotional response calibration. And then, her own husband. The files contained dates and images that didn't match his known schedule. Some dates were days he should have been at work or home, but apparently wasn't. Heart pounding, she scrolled through to find a video file. Grainy footage of David lying on a lab table, unconscious, electrodes attached, machines beeping. A calm voice from off-screen. "The process is stabilizing. Behavioral overlay is 98%. Overlay? Stabilizing?" Her stomach turned. When she looked up, David was standing in the doorway. "Working late again?" he asked, casual and familiar. She laughed nervously, forcing herself to believe. "Yeah. Just a long day." The unease only deepened. She confronted her boss, Dr. Lenhart, asking about the files. His calm demeanor faltered for a fraction of a second, a flicker of something like fear. "You need to trust the process," he said. Trust the process. The words haunted her. She began testing David, subtle questions, memories only the real David would know. Each time, he answered correctly, perfectly. Every reaction seemed rehearsed yet flawlessly human. Weeks passed. Olivia became obsessive, documenting every movement, installing a hidden camera, following him when she could. And then, one night, the camera caught something horrifying. David left the house at 3 a.m., meeting a man in the shadows. He handed over a small, wrapped package, then returned home as if nothing had happened. Researching employees, schedules, hospital visits, she discovered a terrifying pattern: disappearances, sudden replacements, people acting unnaturally perfect. And then it hit her: New Eden Biotechnics wasn't just experimenting. They were replacing people. The realization was horrifying. Every gesture, every word, every smile could hide an imposter. Her husband, the man she had shared years with, was no longer David. He was a replica. Olivia tried to warn someone: police, journalists, friends. Every attempt failed. Phones went unanswered, emails bounced, acquaintances vanished. The company had anticipated her moves. Obsessed, she followed David everywhere, documented everything. Each day she wondered how far this replacement network extended. One night, she decided she could wait no longer. She broke into the lab, bypassing security, heart hammering. The replication lab was silent, lit in cold fluorescent light. Pods lined the walls, each containing a figure suspended in translucent liquid. Faces pressed against the surfaces, eyes closed, lips moving as if dreaming. Her breath caught. And there he was, the real David, preserved perfectly, lying in one of the pods. The man she had lived with for weeks, laughing at dinner, arguing about bills, smiling in bed, that was the replica. Dr. Lenhart appeared behind her, arms crossed, calm as ever. "You've seen enough," he said. "Why?" she whispered. "Why him? Why anyone?" "Perfection isn't born," he replied. "It's made." Panic surged. Olivia realized she wasn't in control. Her life, her husband, her very sense of reality, they were part of a design she could barely comprehend. She ran, leaving the lab, leaving the life she had known, knowing she would never be safe. Every person she passed could already be a replica, every smile a mask. Days turned into weeks. Olivia vanished, moved cities, changed her appearance, tried to start over. But the memory of pods, of perfect faces, of the replica David, never left her. Sometimes, she saw him, David, in a coffee shop, in the street, moving with the same precise cadence. She would watch, heart pounding, until he glanced at her, smiled that impossible smile, and disappeared. She realized the cruelest truth: the originals didn't matter. They were only templates. And perfection, once made, never sleeps. Even now, she wonders if she is being watched, if she has already been replaced. Somewhere, the process continues, quiet, patient, perfect. In the world of new Eden Biotechnics, the question isn't who you are. The question is, who will you become? And sometimes, she whispers to herself, that's the scariest question of all.